Okay, so here's the upper head view here, and this is the motor. It's in the '89 Honda Civics. It's been sitting, like I said in previous there, for probably, I don't know, at least 5 or 6 years. 5, 6, 7, maybe 7 years. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure exactly what went wrong with it. I just know that I was driving down the road and she started running real bad, and just real bad. Lost all kinds of power. So I had changed the head gasket on this once, so I was thinking probably that it was a head gasket, but I don't know. This only has 4 bolts that holds the valve cover on it. Some of them have 5. I got these little rubber O-ring washer dealers that get stuck on here. There we go. Okay, as you guys can see, it's pretty dry in here. Like I said, the motor had been running quite some time. Doesn't look bad right there. So, of course, the plugs are in here. They're in these areas here. You have a long shaft that goes down in here, so they actually go down roughly that far. So that's about 3 inches. That's actually down into the head where the plug goes in, and that's not counting where the plug is either, because that's just topping the plug there. Plugs out here. See, then I would turn it over. Or something. You can definitely tell these ain't been out for a while. Probably strip the head out. Yeah, because one of these was definitely, one of the cylinders went bad somewhere in there. I wonder if it was this one. See it or not? That's the number 1. That's the back cylinder, whatever. Number 1's on the front, so this one is number 1, and that's number 4. It's a bit wet in there. Oops, sorry, tubes. Must be something stuck down in that one. Another one. Yeah, you can see this one too, maybe. Yeah. It doesn't look too bad either. Yeah, this one's fairly oil fouled. It's got a bunch of oil nastiness on it. Kind of hard to do this overhead, guys, especially I'm upside down on the screen here. Yeah, there's supposed to be a proper torque sequence on these when you take them apart, but it's all going in the garbage. I'll scrap it all out, so I really don't care. Most of the time you just start from the middle and work your way out from the middle and out when you go to torque it, but when you're taking it apart you should go from the outside in. So usually go in a spiral pattern to the middle, and then vice versa when you loosen it. So you usually go from the outside in, and then from the inside out when you tighten them. Let's try this. That's with a motor that you're going to fix, but let's cut this thing. Starting to separate. I thought those were screwed on the way. I don't know. You know, on the Honda motors, I actually have a piece that goes in between those two to keep them from leaking into the cylinder where the plug is at. I still can't see what the hell's in there. Doesn't look like much or anything. Might be. Yeah, you know, I do see something stuffed down in there. So let me see if I can get that out and pull that plug out. Yeah, if you look. And there, it's right down along the edge there. Okay, let me see if I can get that out. That looks pretty black too. There we go. So, it's not horrible, but so yeah, this is the cam, guys. It's not in bad shape. Nothing looks really bad on it. You know, the cam was made for high gas mileage. This car actually used to get about 35 miles to the gallon when I had it running. So all I'm doing is just stuffing this string down in there. It's a lightweight string, but you got to fill the cylinder up pretty good to get the pressure put back up on the top of the head. So putting this down in there. There's a few methods to do this. You can actually take a compression tool, like for a compression tester, and screw it in there, and use your air tank if you have air. These are for these guys that don't have air. You know, not everybody has air tools and air compressors, but you can actually screw it down into the cylinder, and you put your air to it, and you should be able to keep pressure in it, but you have to keep the air on it all the time, so that way if the cylinder is leaking or when you actually hit the valve, it doesn't drop it. If you drop the valve, then you got to take the motor apart to get it back out. So, you know, be prepared to, you know, if you have to to take the thing apart, because it'll drop them in an instant. Different screwdriver. A little bit too big to fit in the hole. Okay, our rope. So let's try to turn this over so it's at the top. So I'm gonna show you guys this tool. Got this set up in here with a string in it, and we'll try this. You know, hit it with a hammer, or not with a hammer, just kind of push on it. So I still have you guys overhead here. Let me see if I can do this one-handed. Should, if I push down on it. So you guys see that? There we go. Okay, so valves, and pick up the keepers and the top piece of the valve off of there. So let's try another one here. Okay, so see if I can. So all I'm doing is just this thing here, and it's got a magnet on the end of it. You could actually make these kind of homemade, and we can pull these off. But yeah, this is the spring. Okay, so let's try this again. So all I'm doing, I'm using my left hand here to hold the camera, and then this is the piece here. So all I'm doing is pushing down on the spring straight in the middle, and you actually kind of hear it pick it up. And it picked it up again, and then comes right off. Okay, and then you do the reverse of that when you put it back on. Okay, so put your keepers in there, and there's a right way and a wrong way for the keepers. You have to make sure they're right side up. If you look at it, I don't know if it'll zoom in here, catch it. On this side is real thin if you look at it, and then this side's a whole lot thicker. So see how the difference in the thickness? Okay, the thin side actually goes down, not up. Okay. Okay, so what I found, a lot of times you pull this up a little bit. Okay, so I don't know how much you guys are going to be able to see this. I'll have to do this on another motor or another header once I get this off here. Okay, so if you pull this up a little bit, it actually kind of helps seat it. Okay, so you see how it kind of compresses? You push this down, and I got one of them, but not the other. Okay. Yeah, I probably have my big head in the way. I'll have to do this on once I get it apart. Okay. And it'll pull that piece off and everything, and your springs and everything come right off. You know. Okay, so it does work. It seems like it's holding the valves up. If they're in there pretty solid, putting the string down inside in the tube there. That's a way to do that. Just put your string down in there and turn it over on your stroke, on your compression stroke or exhaust stroke. And, see, I'm just going to bonk it with a hammer. Back up here. In, out. Okay, so there's the valve stem, or valve. Yeah, that's the stem for the valve. Okay, so the shaft or whatever. Okay, so if I was an unlucky person, this would have just fell straight through. Open. Okay, so this cylinder, if you drop it in there, okay, so this is the valve stem. It didn't drop all the way in. Sometimes they won't, but this will actually fall straight into the cylinder where you can't get it back out. Like that one, especially just down in the cylinder now. Okay, so let's try this one more time on here. Nothing's easy, so. Fine stuff. Yeah, if you was in a shop doing this, you pull quite a few of these off of here in a short period of time. Got too much shit in there. Next video, we'll be taking the rest of this motor apart, pulling the valves out of it, and all that stuff. So.